Good evening. How you doing, good people? L.A.R. movement is still moving. Um, this live is based on, the mistake made with negative black male tropes. Um, I did a video. I went live, I think, yesterday about a movie on Netflix called Love.com. So one of the brothers told me to check out Baby Mamas on Netflix. It's an African movie. And he's like, it's gonna be a lot in that. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it. So I just finished watching it today. And these tropes are international now because now they're in Africa, right? They're an African film. So this is not an American thing, anymore. What's up, George Frazier? Well, because Netflix has, it's kind of like a waiting to exhale, a diet waiting to exhale kind of thing. So and I've been thinking about this even with the other movies that I had watched and television shows. And this is why when I'm at work, I will listen to certain things on YouTube. Hey, Devin, um, because I was talking to a lady about we were talking about the Madam C.J. Walker thing, and she asked me what I thought about it, and I told her, I said, I think it's going to be one of those things that you watch now and you might be entertained by, but some years from now you might not look at it the same. Just like any other movie, just like any other album you might listen to. You grow a little bit and you catch something differently. And this is what I mean by these tropes, because this running theme about black men being just inherently dysfunctional. The thing about that is when a narrative gets old, in reality, it doesn't it doesn't play out well on the screen. And what I'm seeing is, you know, the narrative in real life is not, you can't connect with the narrative on the screen. What's up, Goshen? Shalom. So, like, first and foremost, like when I was watching the movie, you coming in. This stemmed from me watching Baby Mamas on Netflix. It's an African movie. The first thing that I get caught with is feelings. A lot of these negative stereotypes about black men are rooted in feelings. You know, and the irony of it is, feelings don't have to be real. And there was a scene in the movie where one of the women were pregnant. She took a pregnancy test. She's like, I'm pregnant. She told the man that got her pregnant, like, you sure? She's like, yeah. And she's crying, emotional, whatever. And he's like, well, wait, let's go to the doctor and see first. Like, let the doctor do it. And then and he's like, well, what if it's real? He's like, well, we take care of it. Now she flipped out because of that. What's up, young Peasy? What's up, Tony? But then her female friend said the same thing. Like, go to the doctor and make sure. And it's like, see, this is not a male thing. If you felt a certain way from it coming from a man, but it's a different way coming from a woman. The other thing about that is, when it comes to all of these feelings, is your feelings change. Like I clown, me and my friends clown each other, right? And there were some things, some moments in time that are funny now that weren't so funny in the moment, because your feelings change after the fact. And this one of the feelings is that's becoming a problem is this overuse of women always being in the moral position, or in the higher moral position, or being more ethical than the men. And I'm like, Okay, so um, how can I say this? If a man is a cheater, it's a big deal. If a woman is a cheater, you know, the ladies are not going to go hard on that. And that's the thing about the tropes. It's like, you can sleep, a woman can sleep with a married man, and she can get pregnant by a married man, and from her perspective, it's that man's fault. But if her man gets a woman pregnant, it's his fault. So it's like, okay, so there's no way you're gonna actually look at this where you say I got some culpability in these situations, because by feeling it's like I'm morally better than these men. And the thing about the feeling is it leads to negative outcomes. What's up, well, Emmanuel? Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. The empowerment part. Because part of these tropes that the women are not understanding is this idea that men are just kowtowing to women, or men are just shutting up, and because women are just speaking loud and empowering and powerful, and they're boisterous and they're aggressive and they're assertive, their mind and speak their truth. This idea that these guys are just like silent and quiet because they just taking it on the chin because they're somehow weak. No, what it is they're trying to keep the peace before they really have to go there. And with a lot of by women wanting to feel empowered, what's up, Blacksmith? By them wanting to feel empowered, and like you said, well, I said strong. They don't realize when these men are like, listen, you keep cussing at me, you keep hitting me. I'm taking all the punishment you dishing out, but you can't handle the punishment I'm gonna dish out in a minute. So before I really go off and go left and give you everything you giving me, I'm just gonna shut up. I'm just gonna walk away. Because the trope is this strong these feelings that aren't necessarily based in facts. And what was the next part of this? The actions that follow these feelings, because this is the important part. Women's action when they feel a certain way and they're putting these views out. This is how they feel, but then they act on these feelings without taking into consideration that once you thought this up, and then you acted on it, you actively created a situation. I was looking at a clip of Superfly, and Priest was when Priest and I forgot the other character's name when they got into the fight in a furniture store, and Priest was like, it's your fault you messed this up because you gave such and such this brick. And he said, no, Priest, it's your fault because you wanted to be so ambitious that you tripled the work we was doing, and he wanted to get put on, and we had. So I gave him the product that we had to sell because we gotta sell it now. You tripled it, and Priest couldn't. He couldn't say, oh, well, if you'd have been careful, like I wanted you to be careful, this wouldn't happen. It's like, dude, I didn't ask you to make this situation more than what it was. You did that on your own. These are your actions. And now your actions are coming to bite everybody else, but you're blaming everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So, I just, damn, what the hell did I just do? Scratch the hell out of myself. That's the thing. Thanks, well. So this is the point. Like when your actions go a little too far or a lot too far, you get to say, this is how I felt. I felt like this at the moment. I felt like that. And the men are looking at it like, yo, if I want to act on every feeling that I have, I'll be in jail for life. And this showing of women knowing that hungover, and it's showing of women being over the top because of their actions, and doing over the top things because of their feelings. Like, oh, because I'm a woman, I'm not gonna get in as much. It's not gonna. Society isn't really gonna lay the hammer down on me. Well, unfortunately, these tropes are starting to turn the other way around, because everything that people thought, you never got these men's stories. You better go to sleep. You better go to sleep, Dizzy. So now you're starting to see, 6-shooter video. So now we in a situation where, not only are people making films about this type of stuff, people are filming what's going on in their day-to-day lives, and people are talking about what's going on in their day-to-day lives. And the mistake with these black male tropes is people went too far. So now what you're seeing is, I had this negative trope about black men, so I'm gonna act, like this, as I spoke about on another live. You're gonna act a fool preemptively. So now people are seeing you preemptively really get at a person, but you really don't have a real substantial reason. It's just your feelings. So now that your feelings went too far and your actions went too far, you're going to say because he's a man. But people are starting to look at it like, you know what? The silence is starting to the being accomplice, the people being an accomplice to women's bad behaviors is starting to slow down. And that's one of the dominoes that's going to fall in a negative way, because what I mean by the tropes is, you're not seeing these black men be negative just by birth. What's happening, James? You're not seeing that. You're starting to see these guys having a response to something. It's not a preemptive strike. Because when I think about, I guess the worst thing, like, ladies don't like, understand that. I wouldn't like men don't like being cheated on either. But because of the tropes about men being cheaters, I think the women have overlooked the fact that they're disrespectful and trying to and have so disrespectful that they consistently try to emasculate these men. And because you're trying to consistently emasculate these men, people aren't looking at cheating the same way. What's up, Jacqueline? They're not. They're looking at it like, okay, because say when you're seeing these tropes with this guy cheating on his woman, like the same thing with the Madam C.J. Walker thing. She was mad in the little film when she got cheated on, but she was never mad for treating her husband like trash prior to him cheating. That part never crossed her mind. And this is what I mean by the tropes. When you inherently say these guys are no good, you're treating them like they were no good inherently, and then when they run off and go away from you, then you're like, it's just like, I knew all of y'all was the same. It's like, well, here's the problem. That person wasn't the stereotype you had in your head. It's just you treated them like the stereotype you had in your head. So guess what? You get what you get. Part of that movie that made me think about stuff was careers. Uh, there was a scene in a movie in the Baby Mamas on Netflix, the African movie, where the woman was going for a promotion. And the interviewer asked her, you know, what is she going to do about her child? Because she's a very involved mother. And she went off like, I can't, you trying to tell me I can't do the job because I'm a mother, I can get the job done. It's like, no, what I'm telling you is this is going to have long hours. And I got how I could go either way. Like the way it was written and it came off, it could have went either way. But what was interesting to me was that particular character had a great relationship with her son's father. So if she wanted to get this promotion, they could have actually changed the parenting schedule. But when they were in the interview, she never even, it was written, so she never even thought about that. Like, shoot, me and my son's father, we get along good. If I got to work extra hours, my son's taken care of. It's no big deal. That didn't come across. It was just, zero to attitude. Because I'm a single mother, I can't do this job. This is about. And if she would have, and in my opinion, if in a real life scenario, if a woman goes for a promotion and she's a single mother, what's up, Rob? My bad. But I'm as safe as I can be. I hope you're doing good. I hope all y'all doing good, matter of fact. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, these ladies have. This is why some women say they chasing their career. If you're a single mother, you have an issue with it. Because it made me think about the trope. Trope? Y'all don't know what a trope is? Y'all, wait a minute, Jacqueline. You and that, DeAndre, y'all educated Black women. A trope is, how can I say this? It's partially, it's just a stereotype to a degree, but it's like a cinematic stereotype. A figurative or metaphorical use of a word or expression. Okay, that's one definition for trope. All right. But, let me see. A trope. A trope is something like stop and smell the roses. Okay, that's a trope. When I say trope about negative Black male tropes, all men are dogs. That's a trope. Niggas ain't shit. That's a trope. You know what I mean? That's get a to a degree, go to school, get your education, get your career, then have a family. That's a trope, really. So it's a stereotype, cliche, same thing. This, that, and the third. So are we clear on that? Game changer, what's happening? They're not good people. Appreciate it, Aubrey. So this is in this movie, part of the trope is the single Black mother, even if she has help, doesn't have help. Because this idea that she's strong and independent and she's fighting the world and she has it all, she has to have it all together to it's not working out. Because ultimately this lady didn't go on a career path that she wanted to because of partially this bad ideology. And then I was thinking about something that Kevin Samuels talked about, something that Minister Jack talked about with Kevin Samuels. There's something that Kevin Samuels talked about on his own. was careers. You know, careers. As in, when women talk about their careers, a lot of women don't have like Kevin said, a lot of women have jobs, not careers. You know, Judge Joe Brown said that a lot of women have jobs, not careers. But ladies look at their jobs as careers, and I think to a degree, it looks like, you know, I have to make sure I have this job or this career so I don't ever have to depend on no man. Well, the problem with that is this. You're not saying that these, you see, back in the day, they used to say, you know, black men were broke and unemployed. You know, there are broke and unemployed black men now, but there are a lot of employed and not broke black men. So to say that, to still go by this trope that these dudes ain't got nothing, they ain't gonna have nothing, they broke, they dusty, whatever. When you come across the guys that aren't broken, aren't dusty, here's the problem. You still have to focus on your career because what? You know, you never want to have to depend on a man. So the mistake that these, you know, these negative black male tropes is when ladies go out into their real lives with them. See, you want to have the provider experience. So it comes off that women want a guy who can be a provider for them on the nights that they want that guy to be a provider for them, so she can get something for free that time. But then she could say, I got my own job, I have my career, I have my own money, I don't really need you. And this kept popping up in this movie, where it was interesting that, you know, it was 4 main characters, and it was only one married couple that they came from. So, you know, and they happened to be, you know, one lady's couple was it. The other 3, mama in the house, or mama in the life, no dads, right? Oh, man, I'm sorry, fam, no picture. When I see Drea, you know what I'm saying? I think that's and I get it. I definitely get it, because my little cousin's name is spelled Aisha, but they say it's Asia. I'm like, no, that's Aisha. So my bad, even though I got it wrong. So, you know, DeAndre, I'm getting it right. DeAndre, feel like one of them teachers. Say it right. Say it with your chest. Tahaka, what's happening? Justin, what's popping? So now, when I'm looking at these stereotypes and these tropes, you know, I don't think, and I'm looking at it because a lot of these things that are coming out, a lot of this female-centered material, I get it comes from a female point of view, but the problem that I see the most is that the females who actually think this makes them look good don't realize it doesn't. Like, if you have a guy that's into you, but you're not into him, and you have a silly reason, and then you're into another guy that's really not into you for a silly reason, and you think that makes sense, problem. If you're fighting with this, if you meet this guy and you're talking to him and you're arguing with him and you're fighting with him, you're trying to manipulate him, trying to control him, trying to run this guy, and he's like, I'm moving on. And you say, well, I was doing that because I love you. And you actually think that looks understandable when somebody is watching it. You're crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because these tropes that you got to get these guys in line. You got to put these guys in check. You got to make sure these guys don't run over you. And not understanding that it's not making these guys look bad. It's making these guys look like they're overly patient with a bad person. You get what I'm saying? Uh-oh. I got you, Big Kev. Thank you. JT, I'm sorry, fam. So now it goes into the intentions, right? And the intentions are bad. Because when you believe these negative stereotypes and you're doing things with bad intentions, like there was a scene where one of the men decided he was going to get married, and his ex, the mother of his daughter, got so mad that what she did was she took him for increase in child support. So she's mad at him for moving on and getting married, but her mother had told her previously, you need to tell that man that you love him. And she was like, I'm not going to do that. You got Niagara Goons. Yeah, I got you. So, but her pride wouldn't let her tell a man that she loved him. So what she did was she tried to run him all the time. So he just moved on and talked to somebody else, and he started getting married to somebody else. You know? Yeah. Because this of the intent of making sure these guys are gonna do right. Like there was a guy out there. There was a guy in a movie who was he was a woman beater and a cheater, but this girl kept running back to him because the sex was great. So and she didn't listen to her friends saying leave the guy alone because they wasn't getting the sex that she was getting. So the irony of these tropes and the intention is, see, if this guy is a mandingo, if this guy is a buck, then, I could deal with it. But if this guy is just a black man, there's something inherently wrong with him that I got to check. So my intention is to, they want to buck break grown men, not understanding that it's not, these women aren't looking good trying to do that. And they think it looks good, which is ironic because, excuse me, always, saying that you need to be empowered and that you were oppressed and held down by men and this, that, and the third. What's up, thug? And say you were oppressed by men and saying men are, trying to hold women back. Here's the problem with those tropes. Inadvertently, y'all haven't paid attention to, even in film, in real life, how these black men have actually helped black women get to a high level. So this idea that these black men don't have been holding women down and holding women back and oppressing black women, it really don't pan out. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's fathers, uncles, brothers, whatever. Man, DeAndre, thanks, fam. Since there was no picture, I took the Dre. The Dre up. I got friends that female friends that are called Drea. So that's the thing. So my apologies to that. You know what I'm saying? My apologies. But so thus this leads into the next part of this conversation is the reputation is bad. And film is and women are putting themselves out in a bad way. Like I remember Tony Maceo was talking about the super predators thing. That some of these kids are super. Were they wrong about some of these hood kids? Were they wrong about some of these hood kids being super predators because of the girl that got beat up in Brooklyn? And I was thinking about, because while I was listening to Tony, if y'all ain't subscribed to Tony Maceo, him and the Fat Mac too, like y'all should subscribe to him. You know what I'm saying? Mac City Mac City Radio podcast. I done forgot off the top of my head right now, but it's a great show. The thing about it is the reputation of the young men in the 90s was bad. 2000s kind of bad, but there was a under the class that was on television was degenerate. You know what I'm saying? The entertainment class, there's a big degenerate part about that as far as the gangster rap goes. But there's been a consistent current of guys who just plugging away doing the right things and looking out for people. Like people forget about the story about Chadwick Boseman going to Oxford to act, and guess who wrote the check? Because somebody, Denzel Washington, because he sponsors actors. You get what I'm saying? He sponsors people to go there. What's up, Aisha? Dion was popping. And we forget about that part. We forget about how many brothers put other brothers on all over the years who are doing things the right way. That part goes unnoticed. You know what I'm saying? We act like it's not a problem. But with the sisters, the reputation is becoming so bad because I'm not going to say that they weren't guys in the 90s, 2000s. What's going on, Ruby? They weren't guys back then who, hello, David, what's popping? I'm not going to say they weren't guys who weren't no good, because they were guys like that. And they made it difficult for other guys. And I get that. The problem with that though is the trope of these guys of protecting yourself from because black men are bad. It went so far that some of these women have become the very men that they say they're protecting themselves against. Like I was looking at a little girl on Instagram, whatever some song is, I'm a Savage. And the little girl was doing all the dance moves, and at the end, she sticking her tongue out and moving like one of the Samoans when they do the little war dance. And I started thinking to myself, like, this girl has to be 6, 7 years old, and she wants to be a savage. Not understanding that, it looks cute right now, but I'm looking at it like that's going to be black women's reputation, that they're savage. And when I'm looking at the tropes of the men, it's like the mistake is having all of these negative stereotypes about black men, but when you publicly put this stuff out, it's not looking like these black men are actually as bad as you say, because people aren't meeting these type of dastardly black men in real life like that. But they're running into these women who say they're protecting themselves against the black men, and they're the ones that are acting savage in public on a regular basis. What up, Patrick? Hold up, I got you. So now, these guys who are this, that, and the third, that's a problem. And you seeing women, I'm gonna get this guy before he get me. And it's like, okay. So now you're seeing everybody look at sisters like, okay, y'all just act like this now. It's not that these men were good cover, because it's kind of like, what was that? I was watching a long time ago. It's on YouTube still to this day. They had these white guys out in Africa hunting lions, leopards, and here's a problem with that. See, when you go out there hunting and you miss or you don't kill an animal and that animal attacks you, you say what? That lion or that leopard is a savage for mauling you. But you didn't say you were a savage for walking, for flying all the way to Africa, going into the bush and trying to kill it. That wasn't savage. That was just entertainment. That was just you hunting. But you weren't hunting for food. Food. You were hunting for sport. So you paid to kill something just because you playing. It's a game to you. But when the game went bad, now that animal is a savage. No. That animal is defending itself. So what I mean by that is all of these negative tropes about these black men being savages and animals and predators and super predators. Now you out here sport hunting these black men. And people are watching it. And while people are watching it, it's like, okay, they really didn't do nothing to you. You just decided to take the shot, but you didn't kill this guy. What's up, cynical? And that's what I'm talking about too. You know, so this is what winds up going on. And the reputation, because I was watching the movie. By the way, you know, they started from watching that Baby Mama's movie on Netflix, the African joint. You know, the reputation is bad because now the reputation is the baby mamas, even in Africa, because, you know, when a guy was young, it was bad, you know. And one of the things about it is the movie ended with one lady, she stopped, her man, her ex got married, but she was a rich man's side chick, and then she ended the relationship. So that's one woman out the way. The second woman, she was with a quote unquote man who was abusive, but he wound up cheating on her. He got another woman pregnant, and then she tore up his whole house and got arrested for it. So now she's moved on, but she was with him because the sex was great, right? What's up, Paul? So now she's single, right? Oh, the first woman, that's the one that took the man to child support court to get an increase because he decided to get married to another woman. The third woman got pregnant and they fell out. And then the dude tried to get back with her, and he ultimately got back with her. And in the end, he proposed to her while she was pregnant, but she said, "No, I want the fairy tale. I want you to propose to me later when I'm not pregnant." Which is like, you know, that leaves it up in the air because he might not propose again because you already told a man no. You know what I'm saying? And the fourth one, she didn't get back with her child's father, even though, you know, they thought he was a good guy for her, and he was trying to get back with her and marry her and this, that, and the third, but she didn't want that. But ironically, this is why I say these tropes are bad. She got with a white dude and it made it work immediately. No drama with the white dude. So it's like, okay, it's Baby Mamas. It's on Netflix. You know what I'm saying? So which brings me to the other point, is the fantasy. Like, we're dealing with like and women in general like have this fantasy, and I get it. Men have fantasies too, but you know what I'm saying? But we have to live in reality. So this fantasy about how things are going to work out and how things should work and how you want it to be and how it should be, and it's not perfect. And if it ain't perfect, it ain't this, it ain't that, is the problem. The ladies were sitting together at a table and it's like, we'll never settle. And I thought to myself, that's the fantasy. The settling thing, like all of the tropes, that the negative stereotypes that were put on black men were at first the reason why black women couldn't find good black men. And now the mistake that was made is we found too many good black men out in public, and now you're seeing that these women don't want these good black men. So now the fantasy is, what's up, Green Machine? The fantasy went, I want a perfect black man. See, good, now he has to be all, check all of these boxes. And the problem with this fantasy is, and I don't mean to be cold, but when these ladies want fantasies and fairy tales, and they wanted to, and they feel like they're princesses and they deserve this thing, they haven't really taken an honest observation of who they are. This Boaz thing, you know, I want my Boaz as if, but see, you don't even look at what you are at the moment. Because in the fantasy thing is, I was also on Facebook, and I said the story. I went out for Valentine's Day, and I was on a date, and my son's mother sends me this video of, you know, how when the ex-husband treats the ex-wife bad, how it affects the child, right? So kind of trying to, you know, I should treat her a certain way, and then I have a good relationship with my child. That same group of people may want a reverse of a woman who she didn't let the father see his child because he wasn't giving her enough money, and she just wanted more and more money. So what's up, Levi? So what wound up happening was, I was laughing. I said, you know, I'm not finna be petty, and I'm not finna send this to my son's mother in the middle of the day. It's like, oh, look, you know, this is how a mother, this is what happens when bitter baby mamas use money or children as leverage. You see that? You see that? You know what I'm saying? Boomerang effect. Yeah. So because the fantasy is she's better than him. So because she was born better than him, that's how it comes off. Like, because she was born better than him, he needs to be all of these great things. And the problem with that is this: life don't work out like that, because you're gonna wind up meeting people who are better than you because you just assume you were good. But here's the other thing. Now I sent O'Shea this message earlier today. A lot of people in the house because of this. So Plenty of Fish has a live, right? So I wanted to see something. So I'm on Plenty of Fish, and I get on the live, right? And I'm hopping on these lives, and I'm seeing all of these low budget females on. But the thing about it is, they got hundreds to thousands of men. Hey, beautiful, how you doing? And the live, it pops up like on an Instagram live where you can see the live and the person while they're talking. So these guys are popping in, and I'm looking at predominantly black women. But the thing about it is, these black women are getting hit up by everybody. You know, black guys, white guys, Hispanic guys, Arab guys. But I'm seeing all of these low budget people. You get what I'm saying? And I clicked on other people's page, and I see it's a fantasy. It's a fantasy, you know. And the funny part about it is, they want, like, the thirst is real, but with these, but the same time, I'm looking like these girls are sitting in the house, half naked. Some of them playing with themselves in the dark because you can't have nudity on the thing, or acting like they playing with themselves, and guys are just tuning like, oh, hey baby, where you at? Some of these chicks is the vast majority of these chicks is ugly, bad built. If they cute, tattooed up, smoking weed, all this type of stuff. But the reason why I'm saying this is because these are the same type of people that feel like they're gonna turn it around. Because I'm a woman, I can turn around. Because look at all these dusty dudes wanting me. I had thousands of dust bucket dudes all in my inbox for years. Now, this is the other thing about it, though. You got women who are very attractive, and they've gotten all this attention from guys. You know, think of these Instagram models. People was flying them out here, flying them out there, giving them money here. Now that we stuck in the house, well, I'm still working, so whatever. But now that most people are stuck in the house, you see these women ain't got no man. Jada Black brought that up. All these, the fantasy is I'm gonna have a man forever. You know, I can get any man I want. But now that you in the house, you wasted all this time getting attention, but you ain't got a man. You ain't got a man now. Now you're lonely. Now you want a man. Now you need a man. Because you're running out of money. Because the fantasy is, you know, you feel like I'm pretty, I'm a woman, I can do this forever. And these guys are tricks. These guys ain't, you know, are no good. These guys are pay for it. Well, what happens to when these guys can't ain't around you to pay for it? Now you online, softcore prostitute. Because these guys ain't finna just give you money just because you pretty online. And the fantasy that these, you know, now you're seeing in real time where, oh, wait a minute, these guys, you know, they wasn't just tricking on women getting nothing, they was tricking on action because they're not spending their money without no action now. You know, no corona action, no money. What's going on, Kendra? Oh, FYI, Kendra, you got Netflix, love.com, and I was just watching Baby Mamas on Netflix. Very interesting. Baby Mamas is an African joint. Love.com is in the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia. Just so, you know, just go, you check that out. Very interesting content. But the other thing is, what's up, Payback? You know, Kingdom, ooh, okay. Artisan, what's poppin'? Right, what's good? My bad. So here's where it comes down to. Because of all these negatives, because of these, you know, negative tropes on black men, right? It's gonna be very interesting. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's gonna be interesting. Some women think it's empowering, and I can see why. And I don't think some women see how negative it makes sisters look. You know, but it is what it is. And thank you for even saying that, because that goes on my next topic about the fallout. With these, when all these negative tropes were made about black men, people assumed that the fallout was going to fall on black men. And see, here's the problem: when black men not in the picture, because black men are all these bad things, negative things. You got all these negative aspects about black men. What's popping, Ron? Dang, I didn't know they were shutting down their stores. But when all of these things happen, now these guys ain't in the room. So now what you're seeing is the fallout of L.A.R. What's popping? Thanks, fam. You know, God dog it. I got this shit on my hand. Hold on. Got water on my damn hands. Hold up. Thanks, Fredro. You know, I'm doing well. I hope you doing well too. Shoot. You know what I'm saying? And L.A.R, appreciate you, fam. God dog it. See, I hate that. Gene, what's popping? Yeah, this is the point. Because when the fallout is starting to happen, and people don't realize the fallout is because if the guys are so negative, all you got to do is get rid of these men, and all your problems are solved. Right? Thanks, fam. Oh, I know some people gonna go back to the same bull. They waiting on that. That's for me. This is part of the fallout to me, because the problem is when you say these guys are no good for whatever reason, now you got to prove it. I'm gonna get to the egos too, fam. Hold up. Oh, I know. I'm gonna get the ego in about 5 minutes. Hold up, because I think that. So this is the problem. So now when the fallout's happening, you would think, the fallout is the guys. Prometheus, I feel you on that. So why am I saying this? Because hold on. Because when I was watching the movie and I was thinking about it, a lot of this stuff that goes on is a one-sided point of view. Like when I watch shows and when I hear women talk and I watch all of these things coming, even the reality TV shit, I just watch the clips. I don't watch the whole show. But the women have a hard time dealing with the reality that a black woman in the black community, it's only a black woman's point of view. Now what you're hearing is black men's point of view, and it's a problem. Which is exactly the point, Kendra. Exactly the point. You know, I'm so now we in this space where you're starting to hear these men's point of view, and when you're starting to hear these men's point of view, it don't sound the same. It hit a little different, because now a guy saying stuff like, "Listen, her point of view and her feelings was this. She felt like I was this and I was gonna let her down and this, that, and the third. But here's the problem: she ain't never been nice to me a day that I've been around her." Wait, what? Yeah, because see, even when you look at this stuff with all these negative tropes, you have never. When you look at this, the movies, the music, the television, the social media, you hear the term, "I did a lot for this man." But you don't never see what these women actually did for this man. And they can't actually say exactly what they did. I know it's done on purpose. They never, like when these women say what they did, because doing a little bit, I made that man a meal one time at band camp. I did everything for him. It comes across like that's equal. I did this thing, it was one thing for him, I did everything for him. So now, because of this one-sided point of view is, I don't have to do nothing for this man. He's a man. I don't have to do nothing for him because he's a man. Men ain't shit. These niggas ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? He's no good anyways. So now now you get out in public with this one-sided story and you treating these men bad in public and in private, and then they're moving on. And why do I say what I'm saying? Because I've been thinking about it for a minute, where, brothers have been saying this for a minute. You ladies are about to have to compete for your men. And the ladies don't get it. They don't get it. Like the women, they play like they don't get it. I'm not going to say that they don't get it. What's up, Mahogany? They play like they don't get it. They play. So what winds up happening, now you got to compete for this man, right? You got to compete for your men the same way you trying to compete for the ballers. That's the same thing. It's the same thing. You're going to have to put your best foot forward. But this goes to the ego part. And Mahogany, just so you know, this came up I watched one of the people in the chat the last time told me to watch Baby Mamas on Netflix. It's an African joint. So now the black men being just baby daddies went international. But the problem was, you know, the problem was one of the dudes wanted to marry the girl, but she had a bad attitude. He married somebody else. The other girl, oh, and by the way, that same girl was dating a married man. When, you know, the other girl, like I said earlier, she got pregnant. The dude tried to marry her at the end. She didn't want to marry him. She told him no. The other girl was dating King Dingaling, and that's why she was in love with him. But of course, you know, it didn't work out because King Dingaling was slanging Dingaling. And the other chick, she had a good baby daddy, but she couldn't forgive him. But she could be the white dude's woman just like that. So it's like, which goes into the next part. Ego. I was listening to Kevin Samuels and Jap talk about dating in the 90s. And in the 90s, I was a teenager. But the irony about the 90s was from time to time, I got to hang out with my older cousin who was grown. So I got to be at the grown events from time to time in the 90s. And here's the problem. The ego of some of these ladies has been exacerbated because of media, social media, and more so in the home life in our black community, telling out that men are beneath the women, boys are beneath the girls, which grow into the men are beneath the women. So now the egos are out of control. So here's the problem. So all of these attitudes brothers been getting, it's been ego driven. I'm better than you. You ain't never good enough for me. I always thought about that because when I thought about, people forgot when Jason Kidd was married, he got divorced. People forgot the reason. The reason was Jason Kidd is a Hall of Fame basketball player that's worth over probably $150 million. But when he went home, his wife would constantly tell him he ain't shit. That's why they broke. That's why they got divorced. Because let her sell it, he ain't shit. In the house that he paid for, in the clothes that he paid for, in the jewelry that he paid for, in the car that he paid for, he ain't shit. And see, this ego went out of pocket. And personally, I was glad to see it because when I was seeing young brothers become millionaires, I was seeing how their girlfriends, and let me be honest, a lot of the girlfriends were highly gorgeous, you know, but they felt like they were on the same level as their man because they were gorgeous. Their man was a millionaire in a quote unquote mover and shaker in society, but they were just on the same level as their man because they were gorgeous. Problem was when the man got out of the spotlight, she left the man. But here's the thing, when she left the man, she kept the man's last name. This was in general. What it do, Mr. Griffith? You know, so she keep the name, just like Shawnee O'Neal. Shawnee don't want to give her name back, right? Kamora Simmons, she already married. She don't want to give her name back. She still want to be a Simmons. You get what I'm saying? You know, and I use celebrity references, but regular people do this all the time. What's up, Morana? What's up, Josh? But that's the thing, ego. But women have more than their looks to offer. It's just women's ego is so out of pocket that why do I have to offer anything else? And I got these looks, which brings me to the biggest mistake that's made with all of this. See, the mistake made with making all these negative black male tropes is When our women look at all of these tropes and how they act in society and how they act towards other people, they didn't take into consideration that everybody else is watching them too. So now everybody else is looking at black women like, oh, you acting like that because the black man is this and the black man is that, right? But the problem is they're not meeting the same black man you meet. They're seeing you cut up everywhere. When black men are there, you cutting up. When black men not there, you cutting up. Thanks, truth teller. I appreciate it, fam. First, so salute to that. Yeah, hey, I don't mind listening to Average White Band. They be jamming sometimes. Now you hear them Isley brothers, you're gonna see some ponytails and some guitars and some canes. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else is watching though. And I was thinking about that because O'Shea put up a thing about some Somalian chick, I guess in America, going off on quote unquote her baby daddy. You know, I got you, nigga, I got your money, nigga, the car, nigga. And because now she's here, and he was like, Somalian women in Africa are looked at like very feminine women. So that doesn't look like something that happened in their culture. But because the girl came to America, she didn't got real reckless with these guys, right? True change was popping. So now, when you're saying these guys are no good, right? Here's the problem. When everybody else is watching you treat men a certain way, you done. Like a lot of chicks lost out on a lot of chicks have lost out in the dating market. It has nothing to do with your age. It has nothing to do with your looks. Even if you gain weight, have you carried yourself in society makes everybody else look at you sideways. And you're blaming black men for your bad attitude, but you don't want black men around. So these black men ain't been around. So you can't, so black men ain't been in the house. So I don't know how to act with men because my dad wasn't in my life. Really. But you know how to be a bitch to black men because your dad wasn't in your life. You don't know how to be feminine because your dad wasn't in your life. Really. But when you go on a job interview and Zaddy come in the room, you know how to be feminine if it's connected to a chick. Everybody's watching this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And the irony of it is, nobody ever thought about it, but I'm going to tell you something that's different. I don't know if y'all pay attention to this, but even when they have black men in power positions, in media, in movies, in shows, in real life, in social media, when you see it, and these guys are the movers and shakers and can employ you and can put you on and are actually doing big things. You know, the women in their lives aren't, and even when they're getting paid by these men, these women ain't really being respectful to these guys. So when they say it's connected to these guys, power or black men are powerless, you got a lot of powerful black men who have a problem finding a submissive woman. You know, that Stephen Jackson thing wasn't just about bad baby mamas. Stephen Jackson, if he paid millions and millions of dollars, he's powerful. Think about that. So these and guys are seeing this. See, women think, oh, I could marry a white dude like Dirk Nowitzki, but he married a woman from Kenya. He didn't marry a chick from America. And he's not from America. He's from Germany. Sisters thinking, these white guys that you want so badly, they watched you. They're watching how you acting. If you act like that with your own men, they figure that's how you're going to act with me at some point. The Mexican ones thinking the same thing. The Hispanic ones, rather. The Muslim ones thinking the same thing. You know what I'm saying? The Asian ones thinking the same thing. But we're not, but ladies don't want to get that. They don't want to, it doesn't register that everybody else is watching you. Everybody else is watching. And all of these shows, when you make it international, when I see baby mama shows in America and then a baby mama show on Netflix that's based in Africa, and it still doesn't, and it still makes those women's bad decision making look like it's not a big deal. It's a big deal because everybody else is watching these shows. They're not looking at it from the same like you are. What's up, Jarrell? That's the thing. And I was listening to one of the just flipping on old Ayanna Van Zant show, and she was like, when these women say that's my baby, my house, my car, see, and they're married, or it's my baby, but you know, we know it ain't just your baby. When you can't even say our child, that's a problem. When you in a house and you're married and you saying my house to your husband, it's a problem. It's a problem. And these small things become big things because all of this emasculation, these guys ain't really emasculated. Now I'm gonna be completely I'm gonna just be downright cold. These men, these ladies have believed these tropes so much and they've acted upon it so badly that nobody's gonna want black women as a collective. Because collectively, they don't look at black women as good women. Forget good people, not good women. You may be attractive women, but you're not a good woman. When they want to spice up their life with a pump and dump, that's what they're gonna look at sisters for. Because ultimately, what wound up happening was, while you ladies thought you were empowering yourselves and being strong, what you were really being is an asshole. What's up, Temptation? You know, and I'm looking at it in that movie. What's up? So now you ladies have been, because that movie let me know something. If it's an African based movie and the ladies don't see nothing wrong with that behavior, something's wrong. Something's absolutely wrong. Because now you're saying men in Africa ain't even in the house like that. Now you're saying an African because the African family, where the father was in the house, it was like they didn't look like a fully black couple. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know if like they both was like both mulatto, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if it was South Africa or not. I think it was South Africa, but all the women who had a black family, it was just a matriarch, mama and the family. So now you're saying in Africa it's only mamas in the families. So now it's a global problem. So now you're saying, these black women globally are hard asses. That's that's what it's saying. So black, here we go again with this pink pill bitch. Oh God. And I know you look at me calling you a bitch. You see how black men act because you're not being a bitch. You just expressing yourself bitchy like, and you're here to be a bitch, but you don't want to be called a bitch. Bitch, why are you here? Why don't you go to a white channel with a white dude and tell him how cute he is? Bitch, why are you here? Because this is the point. Because you think you could come here, be disrespectful again. Won't you go marry the white dude that love you so much? Please. Please. And I'm about to really go off on you, your fake ass, or the swirling ideology that you putting up. Because you know what's real funny about bitches like you? At the end of the day, you know what? I'm gonna do you a favor. I'm gonna do you a favor. I'm gonna do you a favor. This is the. I'm glad. This is the mistake made with negative tropes about black men. This is the mistake made because all of a sudden she could be with a 50-year-old Peter Griffin looking motherfucker and be a lady now. No. Ain't nobody. I can swirl. I could swirl. I could be with Peter Griffin because he loves me because he's white. Yes, he's white. You know what? He's white. I respect him. I love him because why? He's white. You know why he's a good man? Because he's white. You know why he's a good lover? Because he's white. You know what? He makes $37,000 a year, but he's white. Does he have to be 6 feet tall? No, because he's white. Does he have to have a six-pack? No, because he's white. Does he have to have a college education? No, because he's white. Does he have to have a Mercedes-Benz? No, he has a 1999 Dodge Ram, but he's white. But you know what? In his house, he has LeBron James jerseys and Michael Jordan jerseys, and he listens to Teddy Pendergrass, and he walks like he wants to be black, but he's white. That's why I like him, because he's white. We watch Scandal together, and I love him because he's my Boaz, because he's white. Yes, I want to swirl. You know why? Because he's white. He loves my dark skin because he's white. Yes. He doesn't believe in colorism because he's white. Yes, he loves me. You know why I respect him? Because he's white. He'll say, "Come here, you little black bitch." And I'll go, "Oh, he turns me on because he's white. He called me a bitch like he was white." That's right. I don't have to put... we eat baked chicken because he's white. I make love to him. Oh, and I'm really going to tell you the truth about girls like this dating guys because they're white. You notice the vast majority of these guys that date these men because they're white don't wind up pregnant by these white guys? Oh my God. I don't want to get pregnant because I'm going to do it the right way because he's white. Oh my God, did I just tell a secret? I'm sorry. Oh, if you happen to get knocked up by the white guy, he's not a bad baby daddy because he doesn't claim his kid because he's white. Look at that. He's white. Oh, let's not talk about the part. I don't want to be in a struggle relationship with you black motherfuckers, but I'm going to help him pay half of the bills because he's white. He deserves a woman to help him because he's white. Build him up. I'm going to level him up because he's white, but he's actually leveling me up because he's white. But we don't want to, you know what? This is why brothers don't trip about you chicks swirling. But no. But I'm going to give you what you want. I'm going to give you what you asked for because he's white, because you love him because he's white. Yes, he could call you a nigger bitch. You know why you love him? Because he's white. You're not going to tell your mom that, are you? As a matter of fact, you will tell your mom. Mom, he called me a nigger bitch, but I love Brad because he's white. You can't leave that white man now. See, this is these tropes. I don't know. These black men ain't shit. When a white dude take 9 years to marry her and never marry her, it's okay. Why? Because he's white. When a white dude cheats on you with a white girl, it ain't the end of the world. Why? Because he's white. He cheated on me with a white chick. Well, I don't know what to tell you. You know, we forget about that part, right? Yeah. When if they have a child, the mixed chicks, The mixed child dates a white woman. You can't be dating her. Why you like these white women? Well, daddy white. I can't believe this shit. You know, this is what we're doing. But this is what we're doing. Cause he white, right? That's why, and I'm betting this chick left. I'm betting this chick left now. I'm betting she left. But this is what I'm talking about. This is a mistake you made with these negative stereotypes of black men. And then she's gonna send the swirlers over here because they're talking about me because I'm dating a white guy. No, I'm talking about you because you came here disrespectfully. Shit. Once again, putting a white dude on a pedestal out of the blue for no fucking reason. But let's talk about it, baby girl. Let's talk about it. Does he, does the sex have to be all night long? No, he fucked me for 37 seconds, but he did it very vigorously, and I loved it because he's white. Oh, he doesn't have to make six figures because he's white. Oh, that is very fucking interesting, isn't it? Isn't it? I'm not going to put him on child support if we have a baby. You know why? Because he's white. Or this one. Some of you guys don't really like this. You see how dark-skinned the girl is? She's a cute woman. She's a pretty woman. You see how dark-skinned she is? If she fuck around and got a baby and got pregnant by this man, if she got that scorn, she'll leave, go to another place, and then people will assume the baby is black. And she's like, these niggas ain't shit. But then they find out your baby daddy ain't black. Once again, who is that? Strom Thurmond. Strom Thurmond. Don't disrespect my racist daddy because he's white. Oh shit. This is the stupid shit. This is the stupid shit. No, it don't matter. Look, I don't have a problem with people interracial dating. I really don't. Oh, you do? You actually have 2 children by your husband. He owns a home security business. And you a stay-at-home wife. And when he was doing home security, is that what turned you on? Oh, now you don't hate black men. Oh, you just want other black women to date out. Well, I'm glad. Why you want him to date out? Because he's white? Why? You want them to date out because they can have so much better if they date a white guy. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Here's the problem, though. So let me guess. You reserve being a bitch for the black channel, right? And you want these other women to date out because they're white. And you gotta say, I gotta get my disrespect out somewhere. I gotta go to the black dude and say, I don't hate you black men, but I want other women to date because he's white. Well, why don't you go to a black woman's channel? See this fuck shit you on? Let me ask you something. Did your white man never cheat on you? Oh, you're not gonna say that part. I know you're not. And ironically, she said she had 2 babies by this guy. So does that mean you kept yourself in shape because he's white? Because y'all can't stay in shape now. But if you white, you tried to work out, you got your skin done. Oh, you're not wearing a weave right now? You just got a perm because he's white? You don't have blue hair because he's white? You don't have you got any tattoos? You don't have the bull nose ring because he's white? Oh, yeah. You want to be a housewife? Wait a minute. You a housewife? You mean you don't want to be strong and independent because he's white? You want to be a housewife because he's white? Oh, you're not strong and independent no more because he's white? Oh my God. Oh my God, Becky. Ren, there's some bullshit. Rollo, you popped in here. And it's fun. The ironic is, it's 2 million more black women than there are black men. But black men are almost almost at 800,000 now being married more than black women. So you know what? It's 2 million more, y'all. You should find a man because he's white. Here's the problem. Are these to you ladies? But because by the looks of it, I don't think if your husband that you love so much was black looking like that, you would actually want him because he's black. If he was black and owned a home security business and looked like that, would you have 2 kids by him? Nope, because he's black. I know she just wants attention. I'm giving her attention. I mean, goddamn, he got a home security business. So he should be in the house with her right now. Fuck, it's 5 o'clock in California. And it's 8 o'clock in New York. So she over here fucking with me. Bitch, you should be cooking because he's white. He wants some motherfucking beef stroganoff, but your bitch ass is over here fucking with me. Don't you want a chicken pot pie or something? I want to go to a black man's channel and say, I want the black women to date out. You about the dumbest motherfucker ever. I got 2 kids. You know what? Should have asked your punk ass if you got 2 kids by him. Because, see, I know how these streets work, chick. Old white dude gets young chick and she black so he can fuck the shit out of her. I'm just saying. You act like they your kids. Oh, man, I cursed Asian. I cursed Asian. Bitch, that's not what I said. That's what you said. That's the shit I'm talking about. That's what you said. Lady, you really do. So you got 2 children by him and you don't have any prior children. So what? He look about 50. In your picture, you look about 25. So you really want to go down this road? You really want to go down this road? Because this ain't got shit to do with love. This ain't got shit to do with you wanting, you want chicks to swirl. Go swirl. Get the fuck off my channel. I'm 27, he 55. Why would I know shit like this, lady? Why? Let me explain something to you. I live in the suburbs too with people that are white. And you know what? The old guys some of them got felonies from like corporate crimes and shit, white collar crimes. And some of them got old and divorced. And guess what? Then they can pick up a hot young chick. But you know what? Hot young white chicks don't really want them like that. But you know who can? They can get a hot young Asian. If that doesn't work out, they'll get a hot young Hispanic. If that doesn't work out, they'll get a hot young black chick. You're on the last of the list. Guess what? You're his because he's white. Stupid motherfucker. But you know what? This is my point. This was my point. That was my point, Rand. You can't make this shit up. Because if this 27-year-old chick, ladies, this is why we don't say shit about the R. Kelly situations. This why. He divorced a white. He was already married, right? Right. No, he don't have his choices, jackass. The other women didn't want him anymore. He has a reputation in the white community. You didn't think about that because you're young and you just wanted to come up. Hate to break the news to you, sister. And by him being that old, motherfucker might have older white kids, right? Because he's 55 And he already got divorced. I'm sure he got kids, right? In his first marriage, right? Oh, shit, man. But so this is the type of shit I be talking about. You have two stepdaughters. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't. Bitch, you don't have two stepdaughters. You and them fucking stepdaughters are probably in the same age group. They're not your fucking stepdaughters, they're your peers. You got to be, this is the shit. But you don't think about that, right? Because he's white. If he almost 30 years older than you, they're 28 years older than you, and you actually think they're your stepdaughters? You gotta be fucking kidding me, man. Hey, you came here with the fuckery, so we giving it to you, baby. That's what you wanted, right? Right. I said black women outnumber black men by 2 million. But marriages, black men, but 800,000 more black men are married than black women. Do the math. But you don't have to do the math, right? You know what? I'm a black man saying it. How about I understand? Let me say it in the language you can respect. There are 2 million more black women than black men. And out of that 200 million, not 200, oh my God, that was a faux pas. Out of that 2 million more black women than black men, 44 million black people, that means, I don't know, 20, what's 44? So I would guess what? 2 million? I don't know how to count anymore. No, because I'm black. So I'm gonna act like that. 2 million men, 22 million women. Oops, my bad. 24 million black women. Out of that 24 million and that 22 black million, 800 million more men are married. 800,000 more men are married. I'm fucking up right now. I can't have my white voice right now. I can't keep a white voice. It fucks up my mind. I expect women to be wife material. That's what I expect, dumbass. I expect women to act like they actually like men. Like I don't know, like some goofy ass chick who dates a man 28 years older than her. But if she would have met a black man 28 years older than her, she would say, you old as my daddy. Stupid shit. I know why. I get it. I get it. But I'm just doing it. I'm just doing it. And she's assuming, and I'm trying to give you some game with your dumb ass. You're assuming that black women have the greatest reputation. If black women have the greatest reputation, you wouldn't have to date a guy 30 years older than you that looks like one of the Ghostbusters in the original fucking Ghostbuster. And I know black women who date old men like that. And you know what happened? They get pregnant by them too, and then they get tired of getting fucked by an old guy, and they go looking for some young guy to fuck. But oh my God, you're not that, because you're going to be faithful to this, to your dad husband, because he's white, right? You're not going to cheat on him unless you can find a nice young white guy, right? Right? I know you will. You'll love him because he's white. Bloobity blue, what's up? This is the bullshit we're talking about. You over here listening to me talk about black men and black women, listening to Tony. Bitch, you don't want to listen to this. It's R&B and black folks over here. You better, I'm saying, I don't know what the hell you on right now. Go ahead and download an Adele album. Fuck. Sam Smith or something. Now, can I get out of here, y'all? Can I get out of here? Because, I just want her to love her white man. I just want her to love her white man. Like, damn. Oh, and by the way, what she really doesn't understand is in about 3, 4 years, she probably gonna get dumped. But that's gonna be black men's fault too. That's gonna be our fault too. Play some Eagles. Yeah, I went Fleetwood Mac in this bitch. We out, man. Goofball ass chick.